process going on. But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that. Roger, Frank Modi. We copy that. We cannot believe you are on the fucking moon. Repeat, cannot fucking believe it. Over. You are clear to hook up lunar equipment conveyor. You rock fucking one on the moon. Over. Fucking one on the moon. Over.